It's just a case of who is going to be delivering when it matters most.
Well, let's see who will deliver as we're going to get into the action now. Both the boys are on the server and they are ready for the chaos. Let's see who is going to be causing the damage. br1ck versus whaz as it kicks off here for the Americas.
Well, br1ck, he bypasses the Mega for a moment. Got a little delay going on. I always respect the delay. I wonder if this is going to throw off whaz. But the thing is, whaz also delayed. However, piercing sight might give br1ck that extra knowledge that he so needs. It's going to find him in a second. No real damage exchanged. Oh, there's a little poke and prod. Now, did br1ck guess about that heavy timing? Looks like it. He might even be chasing all the way. This might not be a bad decision, but he kind of... I would have loved to have seen a really proactive push just then. I think that could have been a great way for br1ck to go lights out at the beginning. But he's playing safe, secure, with control. I don't disrespect that either.
No, it's smart stuff. Ghost Walk going to be coming through, though. br1ck, he's on the hunt. He was hungry to try and get that kill early on with the LG. Couldn't quite actually muster it up. We're already a minute through on the clock here as well. Rocket in hand, and he is on the hunt, attempting to catch a whiff of whaz.
Wow.
Instead, it's the double rail that does the damage. That's the difference maker and the opener for br1ck.
Super clean shots that we see from br1ck off the start. Looking good at the moment on Molten Falls. Does need to certainly health himself up. I would have loved to see him spot out the Mega health for a moment to see if he could get some extra damage. Rockets need to be on. whaz goes uphill a bit more, makes it easier for himself. Oh. One rail, heavy machine gun could hurt, but br1ck keeps on landing these rail shots. I mean, he's looking great with his aim at the moment. I think now it's try and stabilize a little bit in between this rotation. And then maybe think about the offense then. But at the moment, whaz is looking really good with full overstacked armor.
Yeah, these have been some really quite tasty rails that he's been delivering. If he can follow that up with the play style that's being displayed with us right now, this could actually be the win on the board for br1ck, but it's too early to call just yet. We're going to have to wait and see how this one goes. Currently on the hunt as whaz attempting to get out of there. He's tracked down by br1ck. Although he's just going to take a moment in lieu, get some health back, and reassess the situation here, Zoot.
Oh, rail not on then. For a little bit of damage. He can back away and get himself Mega, but he's got to try and get whaz out of there, and he just botches the movement a tiny bit, and it gives whaz entry into the map as he gets himself the Mega health, and hopefully for himself soon getting back on the board. So many resources, br1ck pushing when he shouldn't, and you see what I mean now at the beginning with a couple of minutes of great plays, and then some errors, and that great lead that he already established is disappearing.
It can fall away from you quite quickly. Mistake after mistake, especially when you fall into the trap of basically conceding those kills instantly off the back of the spawn. It can all get on top of you way too fast. So br1ck at this point, it's only a one kill lead for whaz. So if he just takes his time, he could still recompose himself and get back into the action.
Yeah, he manages to get himself a major item. His armor looks good too. whaz landing a cheeky rail. Equalizing the stacks a little bit. Fight for heavy is going to be an important one. Does br1ck want to commit any further? Through the teleporter, Rocket's going to be off and looking for some vertical damage.
whaz. It's a smart prediction on the movement. He's able to get himself into a better position as he rotates back around. The battle of the LGs. The Rockets, though, is the difference maker. br1ck fully committing to just going with a lightning spam, hoping that he could trace and overthrow whaz. Instead, it was the Rockets that knocked him up in the air and knocked him out of the match.
The LG was not bad whatsoever. It was just such a good weapon choice from whaz, and he's been on point with the same way that br1ck was great with his rail at the beginning. whaz's rockets have been excellent.
Wow, that was actually near the takedown there as well. br1ck is incredibly low at this point, and it's going to be quite a nice rail. The elevator to the face.
I'm very surprised he even used the railgun at the top. If he misses that shot, he actually probably dies there or is forced to use his Ghost Walk.
That's why he's the dazzle, baby.
Muzzle dazzling us at every opportunity, and he kind of needs to, given the kind of streak that he's had at the beginning of the season. A W wouldn't go down too bad. And his control's been good. After the early control from br1ck, he's been doing a fantastic job. br1ck's not letting any perforations occur. Rocket misses, br1ck hits two brilliant openers, and the rail right at the end. You see how whaz misses the one through the choke point, and that is the missed opportunity for him, as br1ck now getting back into the game.
Ooh, trying to get the rockets off. Instead, it's the quick switch back round to the rail. You have to go for this, as you said. At this point, whaz was so low, it would have been the connection that would have taken him down. Instead, it's a rough opener that just fades away. Both of them now negating that initial bit of combat as they retreat off to up their stacks as we hit the 5-minute marks here. Halfway through this one, Zoot.
Yeah, machine gun would have been a better switch, I think, than the rail gun that you went for. He should know if you hit a rail off a light champion off the spawn, they haven't taken armor, they have got very little stack to work with. Has to force out the Ghost Walk here, manages to do so, but he's going to run into them in a second. He sees the smoke and the trail, but at that point, he already knows it's too late unless he's got cat-like reflexes. In that instance, it just wasn't. It wasn't feasible.
whaz on the hunt, trying to get the rockets down. It's a bit of a struggle with the rockets. And br1ck, he did so much damage with the LG. Incredibly low there as he's barely clutching on to his final breath. He will get the rocket off, eliminate br1ck, and now further elongate that ridiculous lead that he's starting to get. 7-3 now. He's really starting to build up a nasty lead.
He needs to push in at the moment. The Ghost Walk's back up in a moment. And, it's going to let Heavy spawn, so he can take that. But look, immediate damage return. whaz now outstacks br1ck. I just feel like even br1ck is going aggressive, that even though this, if it works out for him, he doesn't necessarily have the plan for what he does afterwards. It's like he's going for these fights where if he wins, he'll be left with 20 HP and no major item to pick up for the next 15 to 20 seconds. I think that's just too dangerous. He needs to just slow it down for 30, 45 seconds maybe, and then go in on it. Good entry rocket. Ooh. Not bad. Can hit a rail there. That would have been it.
Oh my god.
That was a close Ghost Walk just then. Oh, the timing there. That was good thought from br1ck. And he does hit the rail afterwards. This is getting a little bit crazy at the moment. This time he's actually got a major item to go to. And now he can even fight for the heavy armor afterwards. He's going to find whaz, who's got no Ghost Walk. He lands the rails. We are seeing the br1ck from earlier. And with 3 minutes to go, now is the right time for him to do that.
This is the br1ck breaking through the defensive as whaz, and that is incredible. This is what we needed to see. If there was any chance of him getting back into the game, this high-octane level of play is what we needed from him. The aggression as well. He uses the visor. It's the predictive shot that comes around. whaz is fairly low. He's still going to be on the hunt. Can he deny the Mega? No, he cannot in this firefight as well. He draws out the use of the ability there from whaz as he has to Ghost Walk. He's going to try and take the battle straight towards him, Zoot. He doesn't want to slow down on this one. Recovers the rail and tries to get away. br1ck, if he can equalize the scoreline here, we could still have an incredible game left on our hands.
Oh, he managed to hit the rail. That rail was super important. That's going to make life a lot easier for him over at the Mega. Wow. Okay. Great listening. Great anticipation. whaz is actually in a bit of trouble. 10 seconds until he's got the Ghost Walk up. Rail hits. He tries to clutch it. Misses the shot, but so does whaz. He's going to go back for the health instead. But he's still railable at the moment. You can tell that he's bricking it a little bit. No pun intended. Is that too late to say
I liked it. I liked it. It was good.
Good.
We're getting it through. As the longer these shows go on, the more dad jokes it'll be, which is what I'm living for. But right now, whaz barely living as he tries to clutch on to life. Getting railed down there by br1ck. He realizes if he just plays that defensive style and adopts more of a closer hold to his own chest, he'll be able to put himself in a nice spot here to win just with the time on his side. Although br1ck, he's found the Mega Zoot, he's in a good spot, he has the weapons he needs to really cause some carnage. He's just got to find whaz and lay him out another time.
Oh, he's already out of view. Rocket jump up, I like this, trying to see if he can find anything from it. Ooh. Oh, he's right on the exit, but he's got the wrong weapon out. Forces out the Ghost Walk, it's not too bad, but can he win the race over towards the Heavy? He can't at all. whaz is just so fast. And you see, there's a bit of an overcommitment. But the thing is, whaz is now overcommitting himself.
It could be the kill.
Oh, he can't find it in time. whaz is in a lot of trouble now, actually. A huge amount of trouble.
This is an awful spot to be in, but it's the fact there's only 60 seconds left on the clock. whaz single-handedly having to roam around and try and get those extra HPs to play with off the back of the plus 25s. That'll be the kill, though, as he finds whaz. He ties it up with not too much time left on the clock. Both of them essentially in the exact same position. An even better spot now for br1ck. He has the high ground, although whaz able to get the armor back. The rockets are being rained down straight into his cranium as he looks to execute him here. br1ck, he has to try and land the rail. Zoot, it could have been spectacular. They're still neck and neck. It's tied up, both of them. 7 kills each with 30 seconds left on the clock. Is it going to OT?
It probably should go to OT at this stage. br1ck's going to have a bit of an advantage going into the Heavy. He really needs to focus on Heavy at the moment. It's so important he does that. whaz is nearby. He doesn't know that piercing sight's been popped either, but Brick's let him go in. He had an advantage stack-wise. His weapons weren't bad. Oh, okay, the rail lands. That's another important shot. We are going to be sent into sudden death. Oh, direct rocket, if something like that lands, it's see you later, Brick. But now whaz is in overwhelming levels of control. Brick can get himself to 100-100, even if he's not taking major items, somewhere he can fight from. And I'd use piercing sight, just figure out what's happening. whaz is going to be spamming this out. He should be spamming it out. He manages to get himself the heavy cleanly. And this time Brick does need to fight for that mega health. He takes a rail. Can his rail be on the form that it was before? He needs to get out of it. Oh my god, he's still railable. He's going for the mega health, but it's not being earned. whaz drops. Just too greedy from Brick, and he was moments away from possibly even taking this map. whaz is our boy in this one, though.
That's so rough as well. The fact that
Brick
hit so many of those rails that were just ridiculous throughout the entire course of that. It gets down to that last sort of clutch moment where if it's going to be flawless, it has to have been flawless right then and there. And that's where a couple of small misses come through. I mean, it's rough for him.
It was a better game than I've been seeing, though, in some previous matches. I feel like his control wasn't bad at all. I think he was just a bit hesitant, and sometimes he took a second when he should have just been doing it anyway, and by that point it was already too late. whaz pushed forward. We saw a fight, or an instance really late on when whaz took one of the last heavies, that Brick had the mega health. He had the light armor, so he had more of a stack. He used piercing sight, but he gained no positional advantage for it whatsoever. You know, you should be spamming out. You should be ensuring that, okay, this heavy is definitely mine. And if you don't take it, you need to be raining down rockets. You need to be raining down damage. If you're going down looking for these hard rail angles, I mean, you've got to be 100% confident you're going to be landing them. And I don't even think people like Kilson are 100% confident they're going to go for it. They go opportunistically for it.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just have to. You've got to trust your gut into those sort of plays. If you second-guess yourself, you're going to make it way, way worse and really leave yourself open and susceptible to attacks. Although Brick, the style of gameplay we saw from him there, definitely looking like he's way more back towards the form we kind of expect to see coming out, looking a whole lot better. The rails he was actually hitting for the majority of that game were beautiful. You can't fault him for that.
Oh, yes, tons of great rails. The opening couple of minutes, I mean, he just wouldn't miss any rails. For instance, there as well. I mean, whaz was messing up occasionally by just leaving himself open to these angles occasionally. This is where he tried to escape a little bit. He felt totally cornered, wasn't able to do anything about it. And this was kind of the entrance towards the last kill that won whaz the map. And at that stage for Brick, it's like, you just can't be there. That mega health is not... You've taken 2 rails. Even if whaz drops down, you're probably still going to die anyway. It's, yeah, bit of a no-no, but good for whaz. He gets himself a couple of points, gets to feel good going into the next map.
Yeah, definitely going to have his head held high. Worrying factor there potentially if Brick finds that one hitting too close to home and goes in with his head sort of down a little bit, because he played very well. Individually, he did look pretty damn sublime throughout that. Obviously, just a bit of a blunder in overtime, which at that point, it's sudden death. It's always hard to really call if it's the correct decision in a lot of the plays you go for.
You're being too nice. He should never have done that in a million years.
Standard Zoot. Standard Zoot. But see, again, that way you're getting him fired up. That's why you've got to go for those fights.
He should feel fired up, though. He played some good Quake just then. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll give credit where it's due. There was some good play from Brick, but he needs to keep upping that game. And especially... I mean, you can't really afford to make mistakes at any point in Quake, but if you make a mistake in the first minute, at least you've got 9 more minutes to fix that. If you make a mistake in sudden death, I mean, I'm sorry, it's over. That mistake was way too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's one mistake too far.
I'm clearly not harping on about this. I'm never gonna. I mean, I'm gonna immediately give this a rest and never talk about it again.
Absolutely, that's the way we work.
Don't do that, Brick.
Hashtag free Brick. Potentially, we'll find out. I mean, that there could be a chance where he comes back into this one with a vengeance. What do you think going into map 2?
I still think that whaz is on the ropes at the moment. He's not played well enough compared to Brick that it feels like he's going to sail through in this series. I think that Brick's going to fight really hard in this, and that if whaz wants to get... on paper, whaz should be getting 8 points versus Brick, but it doesn't look like an 8-point type of game from him. I actually think that Brick might even take a map, and he still could even take the series.
Yeah, it's very possible.
We didn't even do predictions at the beginning, though, did we?
No. What are you saying now off the back of one map, then?
I mean, at the beginning, I would have said 3-0 to whaz is what should happen, but I think that Brick's giving a good fight, and I don't know if he'll take a map, but I'd like to see it.
I'm going to go with a 2-1 in favour of whaz. I feel like br1ck could definitely get back in, but we are ready for the Rumble. It is br1ck versus whaz once again. The second map here. br1ck, he put up a good fight, but it slipped through his fingers at the last second. There'll be no chance for sudden death, but there'll definitely be a lot of sudden deaths this time.
Well, we see br1ck taking a spot damage off the beginning. He's got a slash to go up against. Now he needs to make sure his rocket game is definitely on point versus slash to nullify any of that immense movement that we see from this champion. But that entry damage that whaz gets, he just keeps on persevering. Rewarded with a mega health, rewarded with a heavy armor. That's a pretty brutal start to go against if you're br1ck.
Already you can see whaz with the ridiculous levels of movement he's going to be able to bring to the table here. Not only is he fast, but he's also furious, and he hits like a truck straight through br1ck there, ripping him to pieces. Oh, and he wants to re-aggress as well! The railgun! 2 sublimely speedy hits!
So, problem there for br1ck is that mega health was up in 5 seconds. Now, if you're out of control, you're just off the spawn and you have no weapons, you do not go to an area where the major item is up in 5 seconds, because you should know that's exactly where your opponent's going to want to lurk about. They're going to make their plays all based around that major item. So when you're playing out of control and off the spawn, you want to go to areas of the map that your opponent is least likely to go to. And at that point, he was in the hot spot of the map. whaz is definitely going to be there and is definitely going to be punishing.
The rail being connected by whaz gets br1ck so low!
Lovely.
That was a smooth rocket there as well. The flick was absolutely delightful. It's been oh so tasty, and he just wants to give us more and more as he's feeding us glorious plays right now. br1ck knocked down within an inch of his life, forced to try and back off as he really can't afford to overcommit to this. Although he's still fighting tooth for nail, not giving up without a bit of a scrap.
Yeah, whaz respects a bit, knows that he's got the heavy to fall back on. It was a long time left up. I liked what whaz was up to. But now it should be plain sailing to get himself onto this next major item.
2 minutes gone by. He grabs himself the mega health and then instantly dives in, going for the fatal swoop upon br1ck, and he gets it with the rocket as well. whaz!
I don't even think he was expecting to get the kill. He just hit it. It's like, right, okay, turrets. I guess he went through the teleporter. Oh, there's another one off the spawn. Lovely. And then onto the heavy armor. I mean, I felt that br1ck was going to feel a little bit more safe, a little more confident with Galena, but it kind of hinges on him being able to get the trifecta of weaponry and then able to anchor himself from there. There's been no like pause time for him. He's constantly on it. Oh my god, the plasma charge. br1ck's like, oh god, there's no escape. He gets away with 5 health, but yeah, that's it's almost better to just respawn at that stage.
Oh, and respawn he might have to at this point as whaz is still trying to hunt him down. Looks like he didn't catch wind exactly there.
I think he was trying to get rid of some totems. A lot of people like to hide totems in that little cavern. And he's just kind of pre-firing it just in case. br1ck's still really weak at the moment.
Yeah, he's not had a chance to get any map control at all in terms of the actual item spawns. whaz has really been ruling with an iron fist over the entire map.
Oh, missed rail. 3 damage for br1ck is exactly what he needs. Oh, there was a world where that was a mid-air. Finally gets the rocket just as his stack was getting super low. I wonder if br1ck's going to go back for it again. He's going to take the rail. He's moving in, but you missed your opening shot. You got lightning gun to go against. Oh, this is so damn close. br1ck still had a healthy amount of health because of the totems that he has working for him over there. That's actually the one thing that he's got going for him this game, is that if he puts down another totem, he's got overstacks that he can work with. Oh, there's the rail shot that we needed. br1ck can possibly get himself back in this now.
Oh, absolutely so. It's just the fact he's really going to need to give it his all. Luckily, he gets the 3rd totem down, though, so he's going to be in a pretty happy position off the back of that. whaz, he does still have a 6-kill lead, but let's see if he's going to be able to do anything else or if he's going to be the one getting slain now as br1ck finally dukes it out between him, although that's all of those totems gone in a heartbeat.
Nice jump up. Knows that whaz is over here. He can't prevent him from taking the mega health. He just took a moment too long to shut down that angle. And then look below the character portraits. You can see the health discrepancy going totally the other way.
Brick with 63 HP as we hit basically the halfway point here for map 2, coming up to 5 minutes. Brick, he might have weaponry to play with. Only 2 rail shots left though, so that actually could come back to hinder him later on, depending on how he opts to play this. What is a bigger hindrance though, however, is the fact that whaz is looking like a behemoth right now. Completely full there on HP and armor, really going to be towering above the minute HP pool that Brick has to play with. Luckily adjusted off the back of finding the Mega.
Yeah, I like that Brick's not picking up items immediately. He's trying to make sure coast is clear, or just kind of switch up the game a little bit. We're seeing some okay strategies from him, but it's being able to tie all of it together. That's where he's been lacking at the moment. Did he hear that heavy getting taken? He really needs to make sure he's got an eye on that timing. Because speaking of timing, there's a lot of that has gone past now. We're beyond the halfway mark.
He's losing every real advantage into this one, though. And also, the more time that whaz burns down, the better. It's a nice dive there from Brick to try and initiate the combat, but it's not going to work out. And actually, it could be what sends him down to the Nether Realm as well, as whaz finds a ridiculously long-range rail, and he is hungry for more. Bloodthirsty as ever is our boy whaz.
whaz can just back out. This goes wrong. He's got the heavy available. He hits another rail. I mean, he could theoretically have stuck around for one more. Well, he's playing it safe. He's got a lead to work with. I mean, there's no point taking silly risks from him. Definitely impressed with the kind of slash plays that we've got from him. Oh. Brick taking a bit too much damage. He's early on this heavy. Oh my god, I thought that was going to be direct for a moment. Brick, you do not want to get hit by stuff like that. whaz is going to give it up.
Finding himself the Mega as well, and has the lightning gun in hand. He's burning through every little bit of defense that Brick had to play with. We'll just leave him laid out on the streets there, and now continues on as well, trying to utilize that quick-paced movement to really put himself into an even bigger lead. We hit the 7-minute mark though, Zoot. He's got an 8-kill lead. This is going to be incredibly hard for Brick, especially with the passive level of play he's been bringing to the table here. It's not been anywhere near as aggressive as what we saw on the opening map, and that could be his downfall.
I've got whaz again. He doesn't want to take the risks. And what can you do as a Galena going versus someone as fast as whaz? You need to open it up, and then you need to find him off the spawn. And if you don't get the frags off the spawn, then already they're picking up resources, they're picking up weaponry, and they're picking up speed constantly.
It's also, off the back of that as well, with the sheer amount of speed that whaz has had, traversing the map being just such a trivial affair for him. He's found those totems each and every time. You know, we've seen the overcharge, what, once for Brick? Most of the time he's had like one totem up, because as soon as he placed one's down, the others have already been destroyed by whaz.
Brick, there we go, rails in. Last chance saloon for him. But this is, this stage, it's kind of desperate. Does find whaz once, but you got to hit all of your shots at that stage. You need to invoke Tox levels of aim, because it's got to be 100% everything. And whaz is just going to take advantage. Doesn't want to give up the heavy. And it's been all too easy for him recently.
whaz as well, taking out the totems. Brick, I think he would have basically just had overcharge up right then, right now, because the Orbally just came back through. Instead, though, he loses his totems, he loses his lips in the face, and now he's going to lose his life once again, this time to a bit more of a shocking affair, as he is taken away actually by the rocket. And whaz, he is just ascending towards victory, getting closer and closer as every second passes here, Zoot.
Yeah, game is hard for Brick. whaz can feel very confident at the moment that he can just land his rails with no pressure attached whatsoever. And he's definitely been doing that. This is a nice progression from whaz, considering map 1 was just a bit too close for my liking for whaz. I would expect him to have opened up the scoreboard a bit more. This is almost much further the other way than I was expecting. Little pops, Brick, he's just, yeah. Free Brick.
Genuinely. he needs something right now, and this is just rough. He is getting absolutely tuned here by whaz. He is just annihilating him with the railgun. He is just not stopping at any given opportunity.
He's a proud member of the 023 club.
Apparently so. Something's got to change.
Something does. Something really does. Brick's got to figure a way to step it up, because unfortunately, I was really hoping he'd pick up some momentum, even though he didn't win Molten Falls. He played well. He's not been able to convert that level into Ruins. Well, there's another map. There's still points to be attained. He has been, he's still been winning maps throughout the QPL. It's just not the series. But GG to whaz. He's going to get at least 4 points now.
Yeah, that is a dominant affair. I can see he's played Rocket irregularly before as well, with the kill at the end there, the knock in the air to finish him off, and br1ck just destroyed.
We've got 2 heavies and 6 megas for br1ck, 16 heavies, 12 megas for whaz. I mean, Galena is a champion that thrives off control, and there just was not enough of it from br1ck. I didn't dislike some of the moves he made with items. He'd leave some up to try and get some information, but sometimes you just got to anchor down. You got to focus on the items and not step too far away, because against Slash, if you chase out too far, they make the full loop around you, and they'll get back to the item before you're even able to.
Yeah, the level of movement as well was just on another planet from what we saw from whaz. He was able to navigate oh so easily, playing such an aggressive yet controlling style the entire time, and it's really rough. As you said, what could br1ck do? Galena just not being able to be utilised for the character that she is at all either, because the totems just weren't up basically for the majority of the game. There was one overcharge that came through, and that's just because whaz was everywhere.
Yeah. He was looking around all over the place. And I think, credit to whaz, I think he was really attentive about that. He didn't want Galena to stop picking up her own momentum. He's just like, right, let's just focus on the totems. You know what? I like a player that focuses on the totems. That pleases me.
Yeah, it suits unwritten rules.
Great satisfaction.
Hashtag kill the totems.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, don't even leave one out.
No totems must survive.
And rails. Should give me as many rails as possible, because we can get good rails. One thing I've been happy about this series, definitely, has been the level of rail we've had from both players. I just want to get myself on some insta-gib, if I'm honest.
You and me both, honestly. Load it up. Give me the railgun and let's run rampant. But that is exactly what whaz has been doing over the course of this matchup so far. br1ck, the Galena pick just not really working out for him, especially the map just playing into the hands as well of whaz. It seemed like he was just so comfortable the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, very much so. I think there's maybe a small hurdle at the beginning where you've got to start building up the momentum. You've got to gauge, okay, what kind of level is br1ck showing this game? And then as soon as he starts to pick up that pace and control is getting consistently in his hands, he starts to feel almost indestructible. It's not true at all, but it's like, well, my control's not even being challenged hard enough. I feel like king of this castle right now, and br1ck's got to do something really special for me to have that respect again. Because there were some times that whaz was pushing in that I was like, okay, that was really overtly aggressive, and I would have expected him to maybe play back on the items even more, but just everything seemed to work from him from minute 2 onwards.
Well, it's one of those, normally if you play just really, really overly confident and basically essentially don't give respect to your opponent, sometimes they just won't be able to deal with it because they expect you to respect them on an equal playing field. Instead, though, we're going to see how things go. Will there be respect, or will it be more ridiculousness that comes out from whaz? We are into map 3. whaz currently leads with the first 2 maps going his way. Can br1ck deny the extra points, or is he going to be annihilated?
Always nervous when I see br1ck and turrets on the server, especially when they're going against each other. LG, can you get that lightning gun to hit?
Oh.
Not quite. It was a bit wavy in the second half of that fight, and whaz has got what he needs to hold on to it. I don't think br1ck should be looking to commit to a fight at that stage. It was, when he moved in there, he went so far into the room that he couldn't really escape anymore, and whaz still had the exit routes if he needed them for himself.
Wow.
Okay, very nice. I'll shut up now.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. That's definitely a way to get back into the game. Although br1ck discovers his worst enemy, finds the turret, luckily will kill it, and there's not going to be any extra shenanigans from the turret today.
Well, don't speak so soon.
Yet.
Oh, the lightning gun was so good, but then the nails come out, and everything else stops. It was when someone's jumping towards you and you get the nails, you can kind of make that sort of predictive tracking really, really smooth. Oh, that direct rocket. Oh, no.
Whoa.
No, not yet. We're minute 14 in. We didn't need that. That was unnecessary.
I've literally cursed him.
It is today. It's definitely happening today.
It's potentially going to keep happening, but we'll just have to wait and see. We can't chalk anything up to fact at this point. He's going to try and take the fight straight towards whaz. The tri-bolt? Oh, that actually could have been naughty.
And it was close there. It was just a bit too far. Tri-bolts. The bolt's exploding a little too soon. br1ck's up on lightning gun. He'll have taken that comfortably. He's getting himself at least on the board early on in this one. It's just a case of how far can he go. I don't think whaz will realize how close he was to him, but he's the one dealing the majority of the damage. And Artus will be up in sub 10 seconds. What is his next port of call? Oh, br1ck is aggressive. Going up with the punches, but he misses the shot, just trying to escape. Heavy will be up on the spot. I think whaz is going to give him a little bit of space on that.
whaz still trying to go a little bit aggressive here. Has a huge stack to play with. That is a nice rocket as well. Death from above as he slaps him in the head. Trying to give him that haircut. Now aggressing as well. Bounding himself up to new heights. He's got the LG to play with, although he hasn't been able to spot br1ck out. br1ck still incredibly low, going to go straight into a warhead that will slap him in the face, and that is another kill going the way of whaz. 4 frags already, giving him quite a tremendous lead with only a couple minutes of this actually being played out, Zoo.
What a rocket as well, actually. I love the rockets we're getting. Almost Wenger-esque what we're getting from whaz.
They're nice. br1ck's worst enemy back in play.
I was like, is he going to say it? Yeah, that's okay. Oh, that tribal. br1ck just needs to chill. There's no need to fight at the moment. And he's really, really keen for it. This room is being anchored down by whaz incredibly well. Try and get some chip damage. Try to maybe look for tri-bolt, machine gun, nails, just a bit of spam. You've got access to these items on the other side of the map. Now wait for whaz to put himself out in the open, when he needs to go and get some ammunition, when he needs to go and get a little bit more armor after this, for instance. br1ck's trying to force these situations. This one might work a little bit more favorably for him.
The lightning gun spam coming across, trying to burn a hole into his opponent. However, the rockets are pretty effective at trying to go for the defensive play, but he isn't going to be able to get the kill. br1ck will stay alive and start to close the gap ever so slightly at the very least. Resets himself with the armor as well. Rocket jump up to get the high ground. Looking for the predictive rocket, Zoo, but it's barely going to miss.
Yeah, not quite there on this instance, but he's not looking too out of shape. Armor could definitely be better. He's got to hit a good rocket. That one wasn't bad. Double jump won't lift him high enough, and whaz will punish. 6-2. The drop down was unfortunately highly unnecessary from him, but I don't think it was entirely deliberate. Ooh, that was painful.
Yeah, that was a bit of a head popper there, just bouncing up and down. Really, really quite outrageous stuff. As whaz now, still continuing on with his heightened lead. Chucks out the turret. Actually does get stuck on the wall a little bit. That doesn't go as far as it seemed like he wanted it to launch across. Now has to reposition as well. Spots out br1ck. That's the rockets coming down.
Nice.
But br1ck finally landing some big damaging blows.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of stack to work with off that. I mean, this time I would have gone up for the lightning gun, then come back down. He got time to do that. He's also got time to get over towards the LG. But he's going for this shot. I mean, the time invested was just not enough. Oh god, it's the worst person ever! Sorry, turret's dead. Turret's gone.
Hashtag free turret. 5 minutes left on the clock. br1ck slowing down the play style, realizing that if he wants to get into the game, he still has a ton of time to do so. He just has to be poised and precise. Repositioning around. It's a nice read at least. Switches out to the LG. Instead going to go in with the AR and try and cause a little bit of slaughter. But he isn't finding the frag just yet. Back on the lightning gun now. Casting out his painful blows. But he's got to back off. He's so low from this confrontation. Nearly got connected by the tri-bolt as well. This is worrying.
I mean, that was a pretty crazy play from br1ck, but he's managed to get a really good outcome. It's to continue some shared control on the map. And now he can actually poise himself here on the mega health. Has to make sure that whaz can't get the loop on him, and he's pushed too hard and far. Trying to keep a track of where whaz is. Rocket's not going to be able to deny the mega health, and now he finds himself outstacked. He's let whaz get the turn on him when that room had to be his fortifications and not let whaz in it at all.
Ooh, the knock up into the air, trying to get the downward rocket, but he can't quite connect it. Oh, it felt like it should have been his. He was trying so hard to scrape his way through on that one, but whaz will overthrow him. And he's just hungry to keep on giving those deliberating blows as well. Getting br1ck incredibly low, still realizing that he's just down there, but br1ck, he goes all in.
No, whaz like that. He's tickled by this experience.
I missed one of the L's, but you get the message.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Out loud.
Not bad lightning gun. He's holding on to this room a little bit better now, but he's got different weapon selection to go against, so dropping there's not something he can do. He just has to stay back and hope that whaz walks into as much LG damage as possible, because rocket fights are very, very favorable for whaz.
Oh, br1ck! 1 HP goes down in the end on the reface there from whaz, who's going to fully commit to try and obliterate that man.
Yeah, whaz just needs to chill now. Doesn't need to do any super aggressive things. Oh, hello! Oh, no! I think he just caught like a whisker of him on the side, just in his peripheral vision, and then, I mean, fair play to whaz. Really quick reactions on that. Pretty, yeah, optimistic from br1ck to make that work.
It's so rough, though. It would have been definitely one for the highlight reel if he would have been able to claim it. Instead, it falls back into this position where whaz is still just continuously adding to his ever-bloated lead now, at a 12-4 scoreline as we're getting up on towards the 8th minute. This is rough for br1ck. Honestly, it looks like it has to be the 3-0 now for whaz. If br1ck was somehow going to get back into this, it felt like it would have needed to have been sooner, unfortunately, for him.
You're totally right. At the moment, though, we can only kind of picture the saga that is awaiting br1ck's first victory. It's to be continued, right? Yeah, and, you know, what a moment it will be.
It'll be a moment for celebration.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be ready with the party poppers. Oh, at least he's going out with a bang.
I think there'll be sort of a global day off work as well when that happens.
Well, like a bank holiday in his name.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be celebrated everywhere, just trust me. I mean, it might also never happen, but, you know, I'm trying to be positive here.
You got to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. There's no spoilers yet.
No. Oof. Unfortunately, the only spoiler being right now is that whaz is ahead of the curve when it comes to these two matching up right now and going blow for blow. So close to getting himself a 14th frag as well, giving an even more bloated lead. As we do hit 9 minutes, there's not too much time left on the clock. Looking to find the frag with a rocket. Really sets up br1ck for elimination. But he doesn't really need to overcommit if he doesn't want to. He's essentially already secured the victory.
Bit of wall getting away with a nice rocket there. whaz is just on autopilot at the moment. So if the opportunity presents itself, he'll get a frag maybe kill, but br1ck is yeah, walking into death a bit too often at the moment, but what can he do? He has to take the risk. Oh, the turret gets a second in this game.
That's rough. That's really rough.
Turrets and br1ck Fallington, name more iconic duo.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's definitely become a bit of a pinnacle moment we've seen.
I enjoy it. I look forward to it week in, week out.
Oh, yeah.
But he needs to start picking eyes in. Maybe that's it.
Maybe that could be the game changer.
I think I've discovered it.
You've realised the anti-strat that he needs.
Or just ban him.
Yeah, also very true. Well, unfortunately, he has been a bit banged out there going into that one. As br1ck will go down, whaz walking away. Probably very happy off the back of that. I mean, the full 3-0, the slaughter and grounds there, the technological terror off the back of the turret that was just causing a bit of chaos as well. That's rough for br1ck. Yeah,
I'm sad that we didn't get to see him show us the level that he demonstrated in Molten.
Yeah.
I think we had a really fun game there. Unfortunately, on Ruins Uncorrupted, it just wasn't to be for him. He couldn't find anything that he needed to work out. Yeah, unfortunate, but you know, whaz super solid. I think maybe he was a bit nervous at the beginning, or that it really did just show that br1ck's level dropped off as the series went on. But whaz kind of just got stronger as the series went on, and I think he showed some really sound decision making. His mechanical ability was on point, and yeah, he was just punishing br1ck for mistakes, positional mistakes that he was making.
It felt like maybe the